Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the Coaxium Cantina. I'm Benjamin,
And I'm Aidan.
and today we are talking about the Bad Batch. Now, last time we spoke about the Book of Boba Fett, and it seems like we're going alphabetically into the Bad Batch, even though that's not alphabetical, I've just realised. But it starts with the same letter, okay?
Sure, we'll go with that.
So, the Bad Batch is obviously a new series coming out. I think it's supposed to be coming out in March this year, but due to everything that's happened, it probably won't. But it got revealed, and yeah, we're just going to talk about our thoughts, what could happen, and basically our opinion on it. So, Aidan, off you go.
Well, first off, I want to address the kind of Clone Wars sequel aspect of it.
Yes.
Because I think at the very end of the trailer, we kind of get that shot where it's the Clone Wars title and then it burns away into the Bad Batch one.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's obviously keeping the same art style as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting because we don't actually know. I mean, other than the Bad Batch, we don't actually know what it's properly focusing on. We don't know what the Bad Batch are doing.
Yeah.
And if it's them taking part in Order 66 or them going off on rogue missions for the Empire, for the new Empire.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting that that's regarded as a Clone Wars sequel, which focused on both Jedi and clones. So that's something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
And it seems that, from what I remember in the trailer, there are a lot of covert clone troopers, ones with darker armor.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's going to be a lot more of a, what do I say, stealth operation kind of missions that they go off on. And we also saw Tarkin in the trailer as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
So it seems like it's going to be very important, and I don't know, I suppose I'm just worried that if it's meant to be a Clone Wars sequel, whether or not it will live up to carrying on that kind of legacy.
Yeah, I mean, the Bad Batch had a whole arc in the last season, which, well, then again, so did the Martez sisters, and I don't want to show about them. But they're already half explained, I'd say, so they've already got a character. So yeah. I would guess that they're just going to go straight in with missions, I would guess. But, I mean, we don't know for sure, but it's a logical thing to say that it's going to happen during the time of the Empire and Order 66 and stuff.
Well, the trailer had Palpatine's speech of...
Exactly.
So
yeah. But another thing that we don't know for sure is, are they going to be like Rex, where they don't have the chip in, or they remove the chip, or whatever?
Well,
or are they going to be stormtroopers?
Well, that's the thing, because the whole thing of the Bad Batch was that they had desirable mutations, so I wonder if it kind of went like, I think it was Tup who had the malfunction chip. Would their mutations perhaps disrupt their chips and they just... Because they don't really hang around with Jedi.
No.
Their own squadron.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe because they were dysfunctional, the Cominions didn't even... Kaminoans, whatever you say, however you say it, didn't even bother putting the chip in or something.
Yeah.
But because it's desirable, they might have done. So it could go either way. And I think if they do it from an Order 66 Empire perspective, I think that would be really interesting. It would be something different.
It would. And I'm interested to see how Echo fits in with the Bad Batch now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because back to that kind of chip point, he was with the Techno Union for like a long time, and he was changed to have like a lot of cybernetics, so there's a possibility that his chip would probably be gone or at least affected.
Yeah.
And he's also got the Lobot headset as well, so
yeah.
he does seem to have a lot of cybernetic changes to him.
I always used to think that Wat Tombo didn't deserve to die how he died in episode 3, but then I saw what he did to Echo.
Yeah, it was quite gross.
Yeah.
I really want to see Echo's armor, because if he has that thing permanently on, I think that might mean he doesn't have a Bad Batch helmet, and that's really underwhelming, because I think that would be really cool.
Well, they might be able to work it into the helmet. It is Dave Filoni and his creative team, after all.
True.
They'll probably find a way to do it. But yeah, I think that would be really interesting if they do actually go ahead and do it from the Empire's perspective.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't see it happening is because it's an animated show.
True.
And I know, right, the Clone Wars isn't a children's TV show. We'll get that out of the way right now. But if they can't go too dark with it. Like the Clone Wars is subtle dark, like subtle evil. But
this is in a way the Order 66 show we wanted. In a way, if this is probably post Order 66, they could get into some very dark things.
Yeah, but I don't see why they would do that animated. If they were going to do an Order 66 and make it dark, they would probably have done it live action to appeal to the older audience. I mean, those older audience who saw the Clone Wars would be in no doubt about how good this show is going to be. But for those wrong-uns who say that the Clone Wars is a children's TV show, that they're not going to bother watching it.
Yeah.
It kind of, if it's an animated, it automatically resembles kids' TV show.
Yeah.
So I just think that if they were going to go fully dark and do Order 66 from a Imperial perspective, I think they probably would have done it in live action.
Yeah.
Whereas a fun little adventure with the Bad Batch is probably easily done in animation.
I mean, I just want another scene where Crosshair has the bloody reflecting discs.
That was very cool.
Shot.
And I don't want another scene with Wrecker. Please, just kill Wrecker off in the first episode.
I mean, yeah, if you've got a show based around the Bad Batch, I think you may be a bit disappointed.
Just kill him off in the first episode. He was quite annoying. I like the rest of them.
Yeah, cool armor.
I like the rest of them, but just Wrecker was annoying. I don't know. I see the Avengers all over this. I don't know why. It's just like a group of basically superheroes within the clone army.
Kind of.
And then you never know. Maybe one day we'll get the I don't know, the Bad Batch endgame.
Well, I mean, an argument could be made that what they're doing is after every series, they're doing it from new perspectives. So we might have a continuous thing of Clone Wars style art, even though they said it's over.
Yeah. I mean, I think they said that the Clone Wars, it was the final episode, the final season, and after you say in the trailer that it's going to be the final season, you can't really go back on that and say, actually, we're going to do one more. And in fairness, the Clone Wars was finished. Like, it's now completely finished. But I think once they saw that popularity up, and they'll be like, if we don't do a Clone Wars sequel, but we do something very similar, then it might work.
I'd say that's the next big question, though. Is this the right thing to do? Is this something we need? Because for a long time, that final season was said to be the end of the Clone Wars, and it was meant to be like this big moment, like with the final shot of Vader walking away from the clone helmet, and that is the official end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got this, which is the same art style, same universe,
Yeah.
same kind of perspective.
It's basically the Clone Wars, just
yeah,
V2. And
So-
yeah.
I'm still not sure how I feel about that.
I mean, the good news is it's made by pretty much the exact team that made the Clone Wars Season 7. So it's in good hands, as long as the person who wrote the Martez arc doesn't get anywhere near it. And look, is it necessary? No, it's not. Would there be characters that I'd rather have a show on? Yes. Are we gonna... It's a difficult one, because I want to see the Clone Wars return as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
But there's a point where it's got to finish, and it's got to have... That's the ending. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like I just finished watching The Office the other day, and as much as I want The Office to continue, it ended, and that's it. Like, all the characters are finished. Everything that we need to know is finished, and as much as I want it to continue, it would just be pointless if it did.
Yeah.
And that's what I fear would happen to this, that it's just pointless.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be there. And that's... This is a little bit like bringing back characters from the dead.
Yeah.
You've got to have a solid reason to do so.
Yeah.
And that's not just, oh, but, they were a fan favourite, everybody wants them back. You've got to have a reason in the plots. So, in the whole plot of Star Wars, what is the Bad Batch going to add to that?
Well, hopefully something that maybe what it is going around tying up loose ends from the film, maybe.
Yeah.
But what I'm hopeful of is that if this is the kind of direction they've gone, that as soon as the Bad Batch ends, it ends. As in, no more Clone Wars stuff, no more that. Because if they come up with something like, and here is the Jedi survivors Order 66 perspective,
Yeah.
Clone Wars style, at that point you're just taking the piss.
Yeah. I'll tell you what would be really interesting, actually. I've just thought of it. If
66 show done.
yes. No, if they went to Camino during Order 66, I wonder what would happen in Camino during Order 66.
That would be... I mean, Shakti was...
Shakti, I'm pretty sure, was the only Jedi there. So I'm guessing she didn't survive.
Well, I mean, which rendition?
Well, no, please don't give Shakti another death.
She's died.
I'm pretty sure she's died 4 times. Like, genuinely 4 times now. Because she did it... She died in The Force Unleashed. She died in Episode 3, I believe, twice. Well, yeah, she died many times in the Lego game. There was one where General Grievous literally just stabbed her. So, yeah, that was fun. I'm not even sure if Shakti's got a canon death.
No.
God! Oh, what have they done? What have they done? We're gonna get another Shakti death.
It's not official in... Hold on, think about this. It's not official in Episode 3. You've got the deleted scene where she's murdered by Grievous. You've got another one where she's meditating and Anakin kills her.
Anakin kills her.
That wasn't in. Those were two...
Those are 2 deleted scenes that are not canon.
Oh god, her death is open to canon. Oh Jesus Christ.
She's gonna die about 6 more times. Oh no.
Do people just hate Shaq T? I didn't mind that.
Oh god! Imagine. So I guess the next show after the Bad Batch is Shakti Death.
Yeah, and then
Star Wars story.
Like 5 seasons of different Shakti.
Oh good god! Imagine the behind the scenes for that. There's one actor dying over and over and over again. But anyway, I wonder whether that would be in live action or not.
Right, we're thinking too far into this.
Right, forget the Shaq. Forget I even mentioned Camino. Forget. Anyway, but no, it would be quite interesting to see what would happen to the clones on Camino during Order 66. Would they be sent out to actively hunt the Jedi? Or, well, like, if it becomes like a headquarters of Jedi hunting, basically?
Well, that's the thing, because from one of the comics, it was the Order 66 thing was exploited for a Jedi survivor to get away. And I think post that moment, I think that's when Sidious knew that he couldn't keep using clone troopers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe the show explores a weakness on Camino. Perhaps it will. Maybe the show might cover the transition from clone to stormtrooper.
Yeah. Basically, if you don't realise, me and Aiden just want Camino back.
Oh yeah, no, I am.
I think
make that blatantly obvious right now.
I think all throughout The Rise of Skywalker, all throughout the Clone Wars Season 7, all throughout Mando, we were just like, please give us Camino.
It makes sense. It makes so much sense to bring it back.
We just want Camino. If anybody from Lucasfilm is listening, which I highly doubt, just give us Camino.
I literally just want to turn on the TV and just see someone go, Master Jedi.
Please never do that again.
I can confirm I can. But yeah, I just want them to go, I'm expected. That's just...
Yeah. That's why I'm here. It's great.
Seriously.
But yeah. The Bad Batch needs to have Camino, I think. Even if it's just the origins of the Bad Batch and how, I don't know.
Perfect. That would honestly be perfect.
Yeah. Or what went wrong with the Bad Batch, like how the genetics. I don't want a science show, but how the genetics.
How mutations actually happen.
Yeah, those.
Like
you can tell I'm so into science.
Science. Mercury with chalk.
Anyway.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so basically they just need to be careful that it's not just a Clone Wars sequel, basically. And it's not as a Clone Wars sequel just because a Clone Wars can have a sequel because of popularity and stuff. It needs to actually add something to Star Wars to a point where it changes something.
Agreed.
And I think that's a problem with a lot of these shows, which, as we go through our thoughts on each of the shows, you'll probably hear more, definitely me saying it, is that if we get 1,000 shows within a year, and they all add something worthy to the story of Star Wars, then fine. If we got 1,000 shows, and it's, I don't know, characters like Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Darth Maul, Kylo Ren, all these characters that everybody loves, but it adds nothing to the story, then it's useless. So it needs to make sure that there is actually a solid reason why we are getting all these shows.
Yeah.
So I don't know, the Bad Batch could add something to Order 66. It's like Season 7 of the Clone Wars. It added something to Revenge of the Sith, which was part of the bigger story of Star Wars. Whereas something like the Martez arc did nothing.
Yeah.
Which is why it was a useless thing to have.
Because that was a 12-episode season, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, I think.
And that was 3 episodes, or 4.
It was 4, I think.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Really worth it?
No. So yeah, anything you want to add about The Bad Batch?
I just think, kind of like what you said, it's being done by the same people, so I have confidence in them. And as long as it explores new things and actually adds to the universe of Star Wars, then I'm fine with it. But if it ends and another Clone Wars style thing takes its place, then I'll just make the assumption that it's just pointless and constantly bringing it back to popularity.
It's like if, say, The Bad Batch happened, and I mean, it would be very, very impossible since you know what I mean. Say The Bad Batch happened and Plo Koon showed up. Yeah. Very impossible because he blew up in a ship. But and then they go off with a Plo Koon story, and then in that story, Yarl Poof shows up, and then they go off with another Yarl Poof thing. It just there's no point really.
Yeah, it's spin-offs for the sake of spin-offs.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally make over 1,000 seasons of the Clone Wars with each individual Jedi, but it adds nothing to the overall story.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Star Wars is a film franchise.
Yeah.
So the films are the most important things. These TV shows can add to the films in a way that in some cases is needed.
Yeah.
But it's got to impact those films.
Yeah. But at the same time, the films shouldn't. I mean, the sequel trilogy. The films should not rely on the series to make the films make more sense.
No, that is a different topic entirely. But yes, I agree that the point of the TV shows are to reinforce what we got in the films. So, for example, the Clone Wars. Apart from the start of episode 3, we never saw the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But it doesn't break the story not seeing the Clone Wars. Whereas the Clone Wars TV show not only adds to the character of Obi-Wan and Anakin and many other characters, it also makes episode 3 better.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the Clone Wars, you know the scale of it as well. So it's got to show something which would reinforce something, or that would move something, like shift our perspective on something.
Yeah.
And that's the most important and difficult bit about making all these shows, is it's either got to provide a different perspective to shift the audience's perspective on a certain event, aka Order 66, or it's got to provide something entirely new, but that is impacting the greater story.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anything else to add? I
am good.
Okay, let us know what you think about the new Bad Batch episode. Let us know what you think about Camino as well, because why not? If you're that obsessed with Camino, imagine being obsessed with Camino. No, couldn't be me. But leave your thoughts down below. Follow us on Instagram at the Coaxium Smugglers, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.